Hello, my beautiful people. It is I, it is her, it is she, it is Coach. And I want to talk to you about anxiety. Whew. Yeah, I said it. That is a no. It's like a stopper. It's a don't tell nobody. It's a you wouldn't say the bad word. Anxiety. And I want to talk about anxiety because a lot of us suffer from it, right? A lot of us, we suffer from it. A lot of us are probably medicated for it. A lot of us wonder where it came from. A lot of us never had it before, but it has shown its head. It has come about. It has joined the rest of your body, and it's here. And you don't like it. You don't like the feeling. You don't like the way it got you looking. You just don't like it, right? And I want to let you in on a little secret. And the secret is anxiety is real. That a lot of people think it's not. And a lot of people like to brush things under the rug because they don't want to deal with the realities. They don't want to face the realities. They just rather not. But you can't. You have to face this reality. So I'm going to talk about anxiety because I suffer from it. And I'm going to tell you when mine started, and you let me know when yours started. And what are you doing to deal with your anxiety? And I'll tell you what I'm doing to deal with my anxiety. First, I want to say pre-COVID in 2018, 2019, whoop, whoop, I was feeling good. Life was beautiful, okay? You couldn't tell me nothing, all right? And it was to the point where as though anything negative that came across my plate, it got no play in my book. It was a part of nothing. It was literally null and void. And then 2020 hit. And when 2020 hit, it shook a lot of us up. But a lot of us didn't even deal with the shaking up because a lot of us were still in denial that this was really happening in this world that we live in. And I was one of those people who like, this can't be real. What am I in a movie? Right? But I want to say anxiety is real. And I had to face my anxiety when COVID hit. When it hit, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I thought that it was something that I was eating. But I just couldn't put my finger on it because I was like, I did not change my diet. I'm eating the same foods I always eat. There was nothing different that I was doing. But what was happening with my body? And it didn't affect my whole body. It only affected my legs. And when I say it affected my legs, I felt heaviness, right? And I couldn't understand where the heaviness was coming from. It felt like my legs were taking a toll to move. And it was like bricks was weighing them down, but it literally was no bricks there. It was nothing happening. Until I just couldn't understand it. And I just kept telling my husband, I think I feel dizzy. I didn't know if I was feeling dizzy. I didn't know if I was getting lightheaded. I didn't know what was going on. But all I knew was we was told to stay home in 2020. I was not outside in 2020. And I just didn't like it. And it felt weird. And I didn't like it. And I didn't like it. I didn't like that I couldn't move around the earth. I didn't like that I was only able to go to certain supermarkets. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like standing in a whole line and had to wait till people go in front and everybody had to wear these masks, and I just didn't like it. And we're not even going to start on the news and how they just pumped this thing all the way up, and they just made it just this big entity of negativity. And it just weighed on me. It weighed on me so bad that I didn't know what else to do, right? And I thought that I was handling this anxiety that I didn't even know what it was called at the time, because I was praying. I was praying a lot. The crazy thing about it is that I would make appointments with my doctor. I would see her, and she would say, Yolanda, there's nothing wrong with you. Your numbers are great. You're losing weight. There's nothing wrong with you. But she kept telling me there's nothing wrong with me, but I kept feeling like there was something wrong with me, because I knew that there was something wrong with me. It's just that she was unprofessional when she didn't know what she was doing. That's what I kept telling myself. And then there was one day I was thinking really heavily, and it was in 2020, and I went to bed, and I woke up, and it woke me up, and my legs was heavy, and my heart was palpitating. It was racing. And I said, oh, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And my husband was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And I couldn't explain what was wrong. The only thing I could tell him was my legs feel heavy, and I don't know what's wrong with me. But my heart racing. And then after a while, it just calmed down. After he told me it was going to be okay. And I just said, okay. Then it happened again. As I was riding down the road, I was driving, and all of a sudden, bam, it hit me again. But this time I was fully awake in this moment. But what I realized is that my thoughts was controlling my body. And I said, oh my gosh, is this what anxiety is? So I looked it up, and I looked at different women saying different things, and what it is, and what it feels like to them, and what their body go through. And I said, oh my gosh, I got anxiety. How the heck did I get this? I've never had this before. Where did this come from? And then I had to start to think. And I had to start to piece my puzzles together. And I said, Yolanda, when there's a major event in your life, when something extraordinary starts to happen in your life that changes sequences of events for you, your body goes through a change. I mean, I'm not sure, maybe your body goes through the same changes, but my body went through a change. I remember when I transitioned from Maryland to South Carolina, and I was riding on the road, and I was in the car with my mom, and I told her she needed to pull over because I could not breathe. And she pulls over, and I gets out. We're in the highway. We're on the side of the highway, and I am literally having trouble breathing. And then eventually, with the air and everything, it just started to calm me down. And that was in 2001. And I was transitioning from Maryland to South Carolina. And in those events of me transitioning, I was diagnosed with vertigo. Never had that before either. I just kept getting dizzy and dizzy and dizzy. And every time I moved, I just would get dizzy. And then I realized after I was on the road this year, driving, it's the turn of events. And so I said, I have to learn how to control these emotions, especially over things that I have no control over. I can't control COVID. It's impossible. I have no control over who catches it or not. It's impossible. The only thing that I can control is myself and what I do for me and myself. So I started to pray. I really started to dive into my prayer. I started to dive back into reading my daily text, and I started to dive back into listening to my Heavenly Father and letting Him help me, because He says, throw your anxieties upon me and I will help you. I will hold you by my right hand of righteousness. I will help you. And I believe everything that He says, because He's going to help me, and He has helped me. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to do a thing. And I did a thing. And when I did this thing, best thing ever. Ever, okay? Ever, okay? And I'm going to share that with you on October the 11th of this thing I did. But I wanted to talk to you about anxiety because it's real. And you have to take control over yourself. You have to take control over your thoughts. And you can't let fear succumb you to it. You have to get a grasp on your reality. And you have to face whatever fear it is that you need to face. And you have to fight for you. I talk a lot about fighting for you when it comes to your health. I talk a lot about fighting for you when it comes to your plates. I talk a lot about fighting for you when it comes to exercise. But it takes a lot to fight for you mentally. It's a mental journey, and it's going to take a lot out of you if you don't fight for you. I had to understand that there's a connection between what we think and what we feel. When your thoughts feel real, your body will start to produce what you're feeling. Unfortunately, it's a known fact. When you're happy thoughts, you're happy in your body. When you have negative thoughts, you feel negative in your body. When you have positive thoughts, you feel like I can conquer the world. The thoughts you think can literally control what you feel. And we have to take control over those thoughts. You have to take control over your thoughts. It's the only way that you're going to be able to really control you. You can't control the things that you have no control over, and that's what I had to understand. We're in 2021, 3 months away from 2022, and I had to understand I literally have no control over this virus. I literally can't succumb myself to being scared out of my mind because I have no control over what I can't control. But what I can control is how I feel and how I react to certain people and certain things when it comes to being more safer, being more aware, being more cautious, and protecting my space. So you have to learn how to protect your space. Protect your space mentally, protect your space physically, protect your space emotionally. Because you are all you have. You control you, and that's all that you can do. You have no control over the things that are out of your reach and out of your grasp. You cannot control someone else's emotions. You cannot control someone else's reactions, but you can control you. You can control what you think, and you can control how you feel. What I've learned to do is every time I get a negative thought that comes up, because we're human, it's going to happen. There's no way possible it's going to not happen. I always say, girl, you are fine. There is nothing wrong with you. You are eating God's creations. You're eating the best foods out here. You're giving your body everything it needs. There is nothing wrong with you. And the more I say that, and then I say, throw all of this onto Jehovah. He will help you. God will help you. And sure enough, in that moment, I'm still a little afraid. I'm still a little emotionally undecided. But then I come back to my reality, and I'm okay. You have no control over the things you can't control. But you can control what you feel. You can control what you watch. You can control what you eat. You can control what you say. You can control what your thoughts are. You can control your whole being. And the more you are in tune with that, the better off you will become. So do this. Write down the things that are in your life right now that gives you anxiety. Think about why it gives you anxiety. And then write about what you can do each time you have an anxiety attack. And watch how less and less and less you have those. Because now you're not just relying on yourself. You're asking your Heavenly Father to help you. And not only are you doing that, you're also allowing your own thoughts to control how you feel. You are taking that negative, throwing it out, and replacing it with something positive. And those are the words of affirmations that you speak to yourself every single day. So again, whatever anxieties you are having, it's okay. It's going to be all right. And I know it may not seem like it's going to be all right, but it is. Because the only thing you're going to do is you're going to control your emotions, you're going to control your thoughts, and you're going to throw all of that upon God, and He's going to help you. So write down exactly what gives you anxiety. Then turn around and write down how will you control your thoughts on that anxiety. Because those are just negative feelings that are just bottled up, and that's fear trying to come through, and it's not going to happen on your watch. This is Coach, and I want you to have a phenomenal day. Do you know why? Because you are above ground, and because of that, we need to be thankful. Also, you can control you. You can't control nobody else, and that's all that matters. I want you to love you more and more each and every day. And in order to do that, you need to take the proper steps to do so. And how do you do that? By feeding yourself positive thoughts, positive energy, positive atmospheres, positive people on a daily basis. Think about why, and then think about how, and think about what you can do to change your environment, to change your thoughts, to make it more better, to make it more peaceful, to make it just a little bit more becoming and inviting. I'm going to talk to y'all on the next video. I have a big announcement on October the 11th about what I've done. And I want you to understand it is something that has changed my life. It's changed my thoughts. It's changed my world. And I feel phenomenal. And I'm going to share it with you so that way you might want to embark too. Peace. By the way, if you think that this video can help someone who suffers from anxiety and who just needs someone to understand their plight, definitely do share, like, and comment below how you deal with your anxieties so that way we can deal with them together as a community. Peace.